you had mentioned that, there was a time where you had to raise capital for a hospital. Is that what you mentioned?
Yeah. And I also had to raise some capital to buy beer. So I've got a team of investors.
So obviously here at Hungry, we have to, our dirt dogs, our acquisition agents, they're finding the deal, right? The next F is going to be how we fund the deal before we can finish the deal, right? So
those are the 3 Fs.
Yeah. I mean, honestly,
instead of it being the negative FU, it's the positive.
There you go. How do we work on funding the deal, right? Like exactly, what did you have to go through in your capital raising journey, and what did you learn along the way? Was it leaning back towards relationships? Was it just a nonprofit, type of, a journey that you were on, that you were serving, and you want to just surround yourself with like-minded people? Tell us a little bit more about your capital raising background.
Yeah. So, where to start with that? So I think, to your point of hungry, something that has helped me some to stay hungry is to be purpose driven. And so I spent a lot of time working on, I have a kind of a core purpose statement, but then each year and with each effort, I really look at like, what does this mean? Like in the bigger scale of things. And that's in some of that, what I call like communing with God. So like getting really, centered on and hopefully really like kind of, hearing where I'm supposed to be going. So that's not mine, but his. So that's a lot of that. Now with the actual like working for the nonprofit and raising capital, that was a real test of courage. I am one to ask people for help. Like it's been one of, and I'd say that's a great thing. Again, if you're someone young out there looking to grow, whatever, your commercial real estate endeavors, your business endeavors, is being willing to call and ask people for help. And I think you guys would both agree. Like you love that call, right?
It's hard to do.
No. What I mean is you love when you get that call. If someone young calls you and is like, hey.
I'm saying making the call is hard to do.
Yeah, making the call's hard.
It's necessary sometimes. Like certain situation, you can't overdo it.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you get somebody that reaches out to you and says, hey, look, man, this is really hard for me to ask. But like depending on, obviously if you know the character of the person, it's like if I can do something to help.
Yeah. And I learned that one of the ways that it made it easier for me to make that call, but that also the other person enjoyed that call, was I'd love to learn from you. And that was authentic for me. And then I think a lot of folks are really wanting to share, their wisdom, the things that they probably learned through some hard times.
Yeah.
And if you really show up authentically to that and you're asking them, they want to get involved. And then what's really interesting is then a lot of times they actually want to also get involved with their finances. And so you can do that in kind of a crafty, manipulative way, or you can do that in an authentic way and really with the intention of like showing up to serve them. And I think that helps a lot. And so if you're doing like a capital campaign, like when we did that for the hospital, before you even launched the campaign, you'd start by building a list of folks that you think would be interested. You don't want to build a list of folks that don't care about public health or a county hospital. Like you're wasting their time. And so again, if you're wanting to really serve them, you build a list of folks that you think would really get a lot out of supporting something like that. And then you request some time to hear what they think and to really learn from their experience and what they see in the market, what they would do. And then if you're really truly taking that in, I think, then they want to show up and help you, whether it's with their time, their talent, or their treasury is what, a lot of nonprofits talk about, but it's the same thing that we need in business. So that time doing that really taught me a lot about that. and helped me in this next endeavor as far as raising some capital for what we were doing. So I'd say the essence of that is, obviously you heard me say authentic a couple of times. So you need to really show up true and honest to what you're doing, and especially true and honest to serving that person. So, if you're really interested in how it benefits them, like one of my investors, one of the things he told me was, I'm more of an impact investor. Like he wants to know the stories and about the employees and like how it's helping them and all of that.
That's how he gets his return.
Yeah. So
feeling like he made an impact.
Right. And I have to be conscious of that and now serve him in kind of that ROI of letting him know the stories and letting him know about the people and what's going on and some of that.
So it's not every investor just hands money back and expects the return. They actually want more sometimes.
Yeah.
They want the story. They want to know the impact.
I think a lot of them do, of course, especially same with nonprofits. Like the thing that I think a lot of nonprofits mistake is that they don't talk enough about the impact of the dollars and, like the true impact. So, and same with business. So in business, my investors, like every one of them wants a financial return. And I think every donor wants, a quote unquote financial return. Mm-hmm. They want to know I invested this money into the community and here's the return on that investment that is better than anywhere else I could have given it. So like we always have to be thinking in that ROI, but yes, I think generally across the board, people want to be a part of something that's bigger than just the money. Sometimes that's the purpose, like my investor that I talked about. Sometimes that's prestige.
Yeah.
They
want to be able to go
I'm
back
a Tesla investor,
sit around
whatever.
Sit around the table with the, buddies and say, I invest in this and they help this person do A, B, and C. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, want to catch the entire episode of this Rent Stew podcast, click right here. If you're loving the Rent Stew podcast and you want to see more episodes, click right here. And as always, stay hungry, my friends.